Hello, welcome to my page. And yes, last week I did not upload a video, so don't be searching and don't worry, but I am back. Just last week was a whirlwind and things happened and I just couldn't get to it. So anyways, either way, we're gonna go ahead and do this week because last week again was a massive whirlwind. I have a lot to catch up for this week. As you can see, all of these post-its with all the things that I want to be doing this week, / appointments, / meetings, work, literal all the things. So I'm really glad that I wrote everything down as they were happening last week so that I definitely know what is happening this current week. Plus, cannot believe that we're heading into August. How crazy is that? Anyways, first things first, let's show you what I'm going to be using. So I have these stickers that I actually got a little bit ago, and I'm kind of going to go into this red pinky vibe because I definitely want to use this smiley face washi tape that I have and kind of blend it with that grid. I think it'll look really, really cool. And then of course I have my icon stickers here. I have multiples here. I'm going to decide as I go which ones I'm actually going to be using, but for now I'm just going to place them here. And then of course I have my Make ID label printer here, which I'm still very much obsessed with. So I pre-printed all of these labels and titles that I'll be using for this week's spread. But of course, first things first, let's go ahead and white out some of these sections just because this washi tape in particular, or both of them actually, are very, very semi-translucent. So I definitely want to be able to get the full color of them. And the way I'm able to do that is by whiting out these big blocks here. So let me just go ahead. I'm going to go and add my washi tape and get to some fun stuff. Okay, now that all of this is done, I'm going to go ahead into the actual time blocking. And again, as you kind of saw with all of the post-its, I have a lot happening this week, especially for a new month. Like, there is just so many things that I want to get started with, making sure that my clients are aware of all the things that we're doing and just have everything organized straight to the point for this new month / obviously this new week. So one of the things that I kind of wanted to bring up is that whole concept that, you know, this past week, I'll be honest, and I was honest in my Instagram, but this past week we had to fly down to where I'm from, which is Puerto Rico, for the funeral of my grandfather. My grandfather passed, and it was sudden, but not so sudden. Like, we kind of knew, but didn't know when sort of situation. And it was an immediate thing where, you know, I had to travel, figure out my work, figure out, you know, all of those logistical things, where I ended up, you know, taking out a week from work because I decided to stay with my husband and my dog down there a little bit longer to celebrate also my father's birthday, which ended up being like a week after the funeral. So we ended up staying there a little bit longer, and it was nice because, again, even though I had all these things scheduled and planned and ready for this new week, it was a kind of like a learning curve or a way to understand how to pivot, especially with something so sudden that takes out a lot from you. All the emotions, your very much heightened emotions are kind of everywhere. You're surrounded by family, which is an awesome thing, and being, able to actually take that week off from work, which I'm extremely grateful for. But it's one of those things that, because of situations like this, you grow a little bit more, and I kind of experienced that, of course, by being in the middle of all of it. But it's a way for you to grow in terms of life is always going to throw you some curveballs. It's how you react towards them is the way that you know how you are growing. Because I could have totally just broken down, not do anything, buried myself in work or something like that. But in reality, I took that time to feel my feelings and learn every single day, okay, how is my mind doing? What am I feeling today? How am I able to cope or help other people in my family that are also going through the same thing? So you kind of develop this, growth mindset through the whole thing. And especially when it comes to, let's say, all of this of, you had all these plans, you had all these things set where you have to basically trash everything and go with the flow as to what is happening now. It's definitely a learning curve in the best way. I mean, obviously the situation is very sucky, let's put it that way, but it was one of those things that after the fact, I was able to see how well I adjusted or I went through the whole process because of all the things that I'm able to develop throughout my whole, life in general, but I actually use all of those tools that I've learned in a very, very, heightened emotional, stressful state that had happened. So that is one thing that I definitely wanted to bring up because it's always going to happen to someone, or it's always going to happen to everybody. It's just when it's going to happen and basically how you react to different situations. And it doesn't have to be like a death in the family. It could literally be, a work situation or another type of family situation, friend situation, personal situation, where you just learn to pivot, change, and adapt to whatever the situation is. So that is just something I wanted to bring up, especially because there wasn't a video last week and I just wanted to, talk about it a little bit more. So anyways, what I'm doing now, obviously I'm going and time blocking. As you can see, there is many, many things, but it's just what it is. Obviously, I'm okay with changing things, adapting, working around things. So I'm really glad that, that is something that I've developed. And one of the biggest things that has helped me is having everything written down and seeing how I'm actually able to adjust my schedule based on what is happening and how I can, take care of myself the best way that I can. So as I'm rambling on here, I'll just go ahead and finish this up really quick so we can get to the other stuff. let's go into this bottom right section. This is usually where I write my quote of the week. And just an FYI, you may have noticed if you watch my previous videos, I do work this Sunday. So my goal section, which I'll talk a little bit more about, is actually moved to this bottom right section. I just needed a small little column for it, but it's something that week by week is always going to be, changing as my schedule changes all the time. So this is just something that I'm able to do, kind of just utilizing whatever it is that I have, but I always try to make sure that I have my goal section somewhere visible. I can see it. It reminds me of all the hard work that I'm doing. And just quick, today's quote for this week is actually going to be success is a decision, because everything is a decision. One decision away from something amazing. So because I just rambled on a little bit, let's go into the bottom left section here, whereas usually I track my work or the work that I'm doing as far as a wellness partner, accountability coach, and obviously a confidence coach. This is just a way for me to track the progress and all the work that I'm doing, making sure that I am on the right track or on the right path for the goals that I set for myself in my business, and just a way for me to see how I'm doing week by week. So it's awesome that Passion Planner already has this kind of layout here where I'm actually able to make a grid. If not, I can just imagine the pages being super chunky with all the printed images that I would have had to do just for this section, because I just need kind of like a tracker. It just helps me visualize how I'm working, what are the things that I'm doing, how I can improve, what can be changed, all of those different things. So I'm really glad that this is already included somewhat already in the planner. So let me just go ahead and finish this up. Okay, now for some fun decorating. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some of these larger stickers. One of them is gonna be for my gratitude that I add here on the left section. It's just one thing a day that I'm grateful for. It's just a great way to remind myself to seek the positive instead of all the negative that usually happens in our brains. So this is where my gratitude is gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and add this little label that I pre-printed with that Make ID label printer. I just, first of all, am obsessed with that label printer. I use it for absolutely everything. And with here, because I'm able to print out everything, I just feel it's just awesome. So anyways, this other section, I kind of talked about it before, is going to be where my goals are at. Obviously, I'm going to add in and fill in all of these sections once I'm done, but it's just a great way to have them visual, or like I can see them on a constant or continuous basis. So it just makes things better, and it's kind of like a reminder of what I'm doing, the work I'm doing, and I also somewhat track them as well. So I love being able to have this section there where I'm able to write them down, see them, and track them. And then of course I have my 2 to-do boxes. It's just the way that I've able to, actually achieve all of my to-dos is by splitting them up throughout the week. It just makes it less overwhelming than looking at one giant to-do list for the week. And plus, it actually prevents me from doing the easy things first and then delaying all the hard things week by week by week by week. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, decorate a little bit, because of course we're having fun with all of these stickers. I'm freaking obsessed. So let me just go ahead and finish this up. Okay, so here is the finished spread. I love the colors. It's just what I needed after, an intense previous week. So love it, love it, love it. Obviously I'm gonna fill out all the things once I'm done filming here, but hopefully this was inspiring. Hopefully it was motivating for you to do the same, and hopefully you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you here for another video very soon. Okay, bye.